Africa has a complex history with the West. This history is marked by exploitation and injustice. Colonialism for centuries ravaged the continent. European powers plundered Africa's resources. They divided nations, creating artificial borders. This legacy of colonialism still impacts Africa today. The slave trade, a horrific chapter, cannot be forgotten. Millions of Africans were forcibly taken. They were shipped across the Atlantic. This brutal trade stripped Africa of its people. It decimated populations and cultures. The wounds of the past run deep. Even after independence, many African nations remained tied to their former colonizers. This neo-colonialism took many forms. It included economic dependence and political interference. It also included the imposition of Western values and systems. However, it is crucial to remember Africa's history is not solely defined by colonialism. Before colonialism, Africa was a continent of diverse and thriving civilizations. It was a place of innovation, trade, and rich cultural heritage. Africa is seeking to redefine its relationship with the West. It aims to move beyond the dynamics of dependency. The goal is economic independence. This involves harnessing its own resources. It also requires building strong partnerships both within Africa and globally. For too long, Africa has been seen as a source of raw materials. Its natural resources, from oils and minerals to timber and agricultural products, have been extracted. These resources often ended up benefiting Western nations. Now, African nations are increasingly focused on adding value to their resources. This means processing raw materials locally. It involves creating finished products within Africa. This shift can create jobs and boost economies. It can also give African nations more control over their resources. Africa is also looking beyond traditional Western partners. It is forging new alliances with countries like China, India, and Turkey. These partnerships offer opportunities for investment. They also offer potential for trade on more equitable terms. While striving for independence, Africa still grapples with the legacy of its past. This is evident in ongoing economic challenges. Aid, often touted as a solution, can become a form of dependency. Debt burdens weigh heavily on many African nations. Unfair trade practices hinder economic progress. Many African nations are caught in a cycle of debt. They borrow money to fund development projects. However, high interest rates and unfavorable loan conditions make repayment difficult. This diverts resources away from essential services. It hinders long-term growth. Trade practices often disadvantage African nations. Western nations subsidize their own farmers. This makes it difficult for African farmers to compete fairly in global markets. Similarly, tariffs and quotas restrict access to Western markets for African goods. Breaking free from these chains of dependency is crucial. It requires addressing the power imbalances that perpetuate these systems. It demands a fairer and more just global economic order. Political independence, achieved by many African nations in the mid-20th century, didn't always translate to true autonomy. Neo-colonialism, a subtle form of control, persisted. Western nations continued to exert influence. They did this through economic pressure, political interference, and support for autocratic leaders. Good governance is essential for Africa's progress. This includes strong institutions, transparency, and accountability. It also means upholding the rule of law and respecting human rights. However, corruption, weak governance, and conflict continue to plague some parts of the continent. Africa needs leaders who prioritize the needs of their people. It needs leaders who are committed to good governance and sustainable development. Empowering civil society, promoting civic engagement, and ensuring freedom of the press are vital for holding leaders accountable. Section 5. Our culture, our identity, reclaiming African narratives and creativity. Africa's culture is rich and diverse. It is a tapestry woven from countless threads. Music, dance, art, and storytelling are not merely forms of entertainment, they are expressions of identity. They are powerful tools for preserving traditions and challenging stereotypes. For too long, African voices have been marginalized. Western narratives have often dominated. It's time for Africa to reclaim its own stories. It's time to celebrate the continent's creativity and innovation. From the bustling streets of Lagos to the art scenes of Dakar and Johannesburg, a cultural renaissance is underway. African artists, writers, musicians, and filmmakers are gaining global recognition. They are challenging perceptions and shaping new narratives about Africa. Section 6. Stories of Success, African Solutions for African Challenges. Across Africa, there are inspiring examples of progress. These stories often go untold. They demonstrate the power of innovation, resilience, and local solutions. They highlight Africa's potential to chart its own course. In the field of mobile technology, Africa has emerged as a global leader. Mobile money platforms have revolutionized financial inclusion. They have provided millions with access to financial services. This has empowered individuals and boosted economic activity. In healthcare, African countries are developing innovative solutions. They are finding ways to tackle diseases like malaria, tuberculosis, and HIV/AIDS. Community health workers, often women, play a crucial role in delivering healthcare to remote areas. Section 7. The numbers tell us story, growth, potential, and the need for equity. Africa is a continent on the rise. Economic growth in many African countries has outpaced the global average in recent years. This growth is driven by factors such as a young and growing population, increasing urbanization, and technological advancements. However, this growth has not always been inclusive. Inequality remains a significant challenge. The gap between rich and poor is widening in many countries. This disparity hinders progress and can lead to social unrest. Ensuring that the benefits of growth are shared by all is crucial. This requires investing in education, healthcare, and social safety nets. It also means creating an enabling environment for entrepreneurship and job creation. Section 8. Charting our own course. Challenges and opportunities on the road ahead. Africa faces significant challenges. Poverty, inequality, conflict, climate change, and disease continue to pose threats. These challenges are complex and interconnected. Despite these challenges, there is immense hope. Africa is a continent of immense potential. It has a young and dynamic population. It has abundant natural resources. It has a growing spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation. Overcoming these challenges will require bold leadership, innovative solutions, and a collective effort. It will demand investments in education, healthcare, infrastructure, and technology. It will also require addressing issues of governance, corruption, and conflict. Section 9. A future defined by Africans' hope, resilience, and the promise of transformation. The future of Africa is bright. This is not a statement of naive optimism. It is a recognition of the continent's resilience, its creativity, and its unwavering determination to forge its own path. Africa's journey will not be easy. There will be obstacles along the way, but the spirit of Africa, the spirit of Ubuntu, the belief in our shared humanity will guide us. The time has come for Africa to rise. The time has come for Africa to take its rightful place on the world stage. The time has come for Africa to thrive, not just in spite of its challenges, but because of its ability to overcome them. The time has come for an Africa defined by Africans